Today I will be discussing the marriage traditions of two countries. These two countries are France and Australia. I will be discussing the different traditions in these countries and how they differ. First off to France. In France, the groom customarily walks his mother down the aisle before arriving to the altar to be married. This is a lovely gesture that is accompanied by a bunch of adorable ahs from the crowd. This tradition originated in France and it literally referred to a bundle of linens and clothing that the bride would take to the wedding with her. And she would store that and a hope chest carved by her father by his hands. On the day of the wedding, the bride would take a long bath to wash away any thoughts of previous lives or lovers. It is tradition for the groom to pick up the bride after her bath and take her to the local chapel. On the way to the chapel, the road is blocked off by children holding white ribbons, and these white ribbons are cut by the bride to symbolize them breaking through these obstacles of life. A precursor to the modern veil may be a tradition that originated in France, where the care, a square piece of silk fabric, was held to the bride and groom's head as they received the priest's final blessings in the ceremony to ward away descending malice, and the bride also wear a wreath of flowers upon her head. The traditional layered wedding cake originated in France, but another common cake is called the croquembouche, which is essentially a pyramid of cream-filled pastry puffs covered in caramel glaze. These cakes probably originated in the Middle Ages when guests would bring small cakes or pastries and stack them in a pile. If the bride and groom were able to kiss over this cake without knocking any of it over, then suppose that they would have a life full of prosperity. Another fun tradition from France involves the La Coupe de Marriage, which is an engraved two-handled cup, usually a family heirloom, from which the newlyweds toast each other. One interesting tradition, which is funny to incorporate, is the beheading of a bottle of champagne. Skilled horseback riders under Napoleon's command would use special sabers to strike the bottles, which ladies would hold up. This practice became a way to celebrate special occasions, and even now it's possible to buy replicas of these sabers. Finally, on the newlyweds' wedding night, a crowd of friends would interrupt and try to ruin their night. But the bride and groom would have to supply them with drinks and snacks so that they would leave them alone. So these are just a few traditions of the many local, national traditions of France. Now on to Australia. Indigenous Australians believe that smoke has a cleansing and healing properties to ward off evil spirits. Plants are burned in a fire or a smudge stick is used, and the fragrant smoke is fanned over the couple. This Australian wedding tradition came about when the early settlers found a afford wedding rings. The bride and groom would each cast a stone into the river, which represents staying there forever in life as life ebbed and flowed around them like the rocks in the river. The tradition of acknowledging who the land belonged to and those who came before you thought to bring you good luck and allow you to start your marriage off on a positive note by giving your respects to those before you. During the wedding ceremony, the bride traditionally stands to the left of the groom. This tradition comes about as it allowed the groom to use his left hand to hold his bride and a right hand to hold a sword to ward off any people who would come and take his bride. Following the wedding, it is traditional for guests to throw rice at the bride and groom as a party. The rice was thought to bring good luck and fertility. A myth from the Orient is that rice is in a full pantry, so throwing a handful on the couple demonstrated wishes of prosperity and for the bride and groom. Rice is often replaced with over here with confetti, flowers, even with bubbles nowadays to have your awesome pictures on Facebook. Wedding gifts were once brought to the couple in a form of fruit to encourage fertility. Nowadays, guests bring gifts as a token of appreciation for the invitation and to help newlyweds up in their new lives. Favors were traditionally given in the forms of 5 sugared almonds to represent the sweet and bitter aspects of the married life. 5 are given to signify wealth, health, happiness, longevity, and fertility. This is a groom's tradition where after the ceremony he carries his bride over the threshold to protect her from any evil spirits that may be present in the new home. It is also bad luck for the bride to trip on her way into the new home, so her being carried eliminates this entirely, unless he trips too, then they're both done for, I guess. This speech is just a few traditions from the different countries, and it's just amazing to see how different countries vary in their traditions of how they celebrate two people coming together as one in love and family. Thank you.